Dry January is upon us, and if you watched the show yesterday, you know that sometimes it's hard to stay committed in social settings.
That's right, Kwani. It's okay, though. Pat Dooling, founder of Dray Drinks, is here with us to help make that a little bit easier for us. Pat, thanks for being here.
Yeah, great to be here. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
You have some great advice for people who are either trying to tackle Dry January or really just maybe reduce their alcohol intake.
Yeah, I mean, like I always say, any break is great, whether it's a day or a month or a lifetime, who knows. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing thing. So a lot of people think of Dry January as like a competition.
Yeah.
I either get to 30 days or I lose, and we don't like to think of it that way. So anything you do, it's information for you and your relationship with drinking.
I love that.
Give yourself grace. I love that.
Absolutely.
You brought in a variety for us today. I love that you filled the table because it really visualizes that there are a lot of options. But let's start with the people that like the taste of alcohol, but not necessarily the health risks that come with it.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we have every category imaginable, hundreds of stuff in our store. A lot of people are really intrigued by things like the spirits, for example, where today they even have non-alcoholic tequilas.
Yeah, it smells just like tequila.
Gins, rums. It's really extraordinary how far they've come. And you can cocktail these, so you can make your typical margarita, just making it without alcohol, or you can even make it with half the alcohol if you're somebody who's only trying to reduce and not eliminate entirely. And even things like bitters, something that people don't ordinarily think of. Actually, the regular ones have a lot of alcohol in them.
So if
you're going to eliminate alcohol entirely, that's great. Adds a ton of flavor.
I always have a non-alcoholic tequila in my house, so that if anyone comes over, they can have something, because you always want someone to have something in their hand. And for those who maybe like wine and beer, that's something that I'm always gravitate towards. And I will say, everyone asks me about a non-alcoholic wine. So what are some of your favorites over here?
Yeah, I mean, wine and beer are a little bit easier than spirits, right? The alcohol percentage is lower. They've come a further way. People are used to these. Wine's come a long way in the last 10 years. The best non-alcoholic wines these days and alternatives are de-alcoholized wines. And then even Kwani's got one here. One of the nice things is if you don't want the taste of regular wine and you want some alternative, there's things like teas and things like that can take the place of that as well. But there's a lot of great product out there, whether you want to sort of mimic exactly what you have or do something totally different.
One of the things that I think people get stuck on, right, when they're going out and socializing is wanting to hold something in your hand. And sometimes you don't even care if it tastes like alcohol. You just want something that's not water with lemon. So what do you suggest?
Yeah, and I'm used to that. I've shown up at so many gatherings where it's sparkling water or diet soda and that's all you've got. And we can make great non-alcoholic cocktails. I always love a spritz, so something like an Aperol spritz, which is great. I'll make up a couple quick ones here.
Amazing.
And all you have to do is really pop in a little bit of ice. And take a favorite spirit, non-alcoholic spirit. This is a great. Aperol? This is kind of like Aperol. It's a spritz aperitif, but sort of more interesting aromatics.
That's beautiful.
Pop in as much as you want, or as little as you want. The color's there, and then all you have to do. Throw in a garnish and top with your favorite non-alcoholic sparkling wine.
Oh, look at this. This is awesome. And you know what else, Pat, I think is a fun tip for something like this? Anything in a wine glass.
Yes, it makes sense. Exactly.
Wine glass.
Cranberry juice in a wine glass?
Or honestly, even just the garnish with the ice, it makes you feel like you're a part of, which is all of what we're trying to do.
That's exactly it.
All right, before we wrap up, the Dray Drinks Instagram account, big fan of it. You posted this fun bingo card for people participating in Dray January. Have you tried any of the things on that list yet?
I have, and it's a great account because I'm not the one leading it. People, my wife and others who are much better at it than I am. And there's so many great things you can do during Dry January versus just sit home and bemoan the fact you're not drinking. I love all the ones on there that are Visit Dray. Because we've got activities. It's not just buying stuff. We bring community together around cocktail classes, parties, health and wellness events, tons of them throughout the month. And now the good news is we have 2 locations. So we have our South End store, and we just opened our Cambridge store about a week ago. So you've got 2 spots to visit.
Way to close out the show. Check out those 2 spots. Thank you for being here.
Cheers to Dry January.
This is
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Dry January.